My journey has been drastically different. So, post my MBA, I worked with corporates for about 10 years, mostly startups. And that's how I got exposed to the startup ecosystem in the country. The largest of them being Udaan. So, Udaan is one of the largest B2B e-commerce platforms in the country.
Which one?
Udaan.
Udaan, yeah.
Yeah. So, I had launched North India business for them, and I headed the East India business for them as well. So, that's where I realized that these small businesses, retailers mostly, they need help. They need help with sourcing. They need help with access to capital. They need help with distribution. So after having worked there for a few years, I realized that and I had worked with a couple of more startups post Udaan. One called Zencard, they called Buildistan. That's how I got exposed to the real estate industry. And I realized that the gap in this industry is much more significant than in other industries, like FMCG, which Udaan was trying to solve. And I thought that there is a huge need among both the retailers as well as the manufacturers to reach each other. So manufacturers, of course, they want to reach retailers to maximize their reach, to maximize their brand value, maximize their sales, etc. And retailers need access to those goods, which they are not getting because of lack of distribution network in this industry. And that's what got me to launch Nirvan. That was 2023. So thankfully, I was able to raise VC funding from VCs.
VC funding. Your first round of funding was VC funding.
Yeah, that was in 2023, and I just concluded the second round of funding, again VC funding. And here we are now. We are expanding to further in Bengal. So we started with Kolkata. We launched our business in Kolkata, and now we are expanding further in Bengal, and we are expanding in terms of category also. So we started with sanitary ware as a category, and now we expanded to plumbing, expanded to tiles, hardware, etc. So these are the categories we are currently building with our business. Yeah, to be honest, that was one of the primary reasons. You get pulled into all this glamour of VC funding, KR news में आना है, etc.
News में आना है.
हाँ, जब तक आपने खुद नहीं किया है, right? And once you do that, once you've been there, once you've raised VC funding, and by the way, please let me admit, it's not easy raising VC money. It's absolutely difficult. I got rejected. I have faced close to 200 rejections. I have pitched to almost every known VC in the country. You name them, I might have spoken to them. But it has its pros and cons. So you have to be there. So circling back to your first question, how difficult is it? It's a pretty lonesome journey, being a founder. You cannot speak to your friends, they don't have the context. You cannot speak to your family because they cannot help you with your situation. Why unnecessarily increase their stress? You cannot talk to your people, your employees, because if you are stressed, of course, you're going to amplify that stress for your employees. So who do you talk to? Actually, no one. So perseverance is the biggest trait. I at least particularly believe that perseverance is the biggest trait to being a founder. You have to do it constantly. You have to have that conviction to survive those years of this periods of loneliness. So yeah, and coming back to again this question that yes, it was the pull of raising VC money that got me to start pitching to them starting from there. Since we are dealing with small retailers, the unglamorous part of the industry, real estate may usually it doesn't sound attractive. Orthodox mindset aaj even for manufacturers, we go to large manufacturers, Jaguar, Hindware, legacy manufacturers in the space, the way they operate today is still very orthodox. So हमारे लिए the single most important metric for any in fact B2B e-commerce platform is mostly repeat purchase. कि आपके पास कस्टमर रिपीटेडली कितनी बार
रिपीट परचेज
कि एक कस्टमर ने इस महीने ऑर्डर दिया एंड वो अगले महीने भी आ रहा है क्या सो दैट इज वन मेट्रिक वी एक्चुअली आर वेरी पर्टिकुलर अबाउट कि रिपीट परसेंटेज हैज टू हैपन इज अपवर्ड्स ऑफ 90% क्योंकि एक रिटेलर उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ परचेज वेरी हाई मच हायर देन द एंड कंज्यूमर there are advantages to distributing to retailers over end consumers. If you look at businesses like Flipkart, Amazon, they have still not been able to make money in India, particularly. They're burning 3,000 to 4,000 crores annually. But it's a different business model altogether. You invest for a really long term. Here in B2B, the scenario is quite different because retailers tend to come back month. They don't go purchase karna hai. They buy in bulk. The cost of distribution is much lower. And once you have hit the target, once you have provided the service levels that they really want, you've solved the problem that they are looking solution for, they will come back to you again and again. So hence that is the most single important metric for us to track. All those compliances, and then it's a learning curve. But thankfully, since I'm closely associated with all the startup ecosystem now, I can see that change happening. That founders are aware now, much more aware than they used to be in the past few years. So yeah, let's see how it goes.